Hi, my name's Morgan Haggerty. Today I'm going to be speaking to Zahra Hussain about her debut collection. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself and your background?
Of course. So my name is Zahra Hussain. I come from a tiny island in the Middle East called Bahrain. I did my high school there, and then I moved to London in 2017 to do my foundation degree at Istituto Marangoni. After that, I did my BA in Marangoni as well, with a year in placement. Um, and after that, I worked with a brand called By Waleed for 2 years. And now I'm moving on to the next step for my journey and as a designer, as an emerging designer. I've always been interested in fashion, cliche, but it was actually generational. My grandmother used to stitch my father's clothes, my aunt's clothes, and from that, my aunt started stitching herself as well, and she passed on her sewing kit to me, and that's when I was more interested in it and decided to pursue it after playing around with her sewing kit. And when I went to actually pursue the field in my foundation course, I realized that I didn't know as much as I wanted to know, and Marangoni helped me, guided me into finding my identity as a designer. And after my graduate collection as well, that really helped me find myself more, discover who I was as an emerging designer. But yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Amazing. Yeah, it's such an interesting story. It's such a nice
Thank
origin.
you. Thank you so much.
So was your debut collection your graduate showcase?
Yes.
Am I right in thinking that? So could you tell me a little bit more about that and sort of where that came from and the inspiration?
The inspiration behind the collection. So it's actually funny because the year before my last year, I was just sat in a park with my friends. We were just reminiscing life, looking into nature, really feeling, taking it all in. And we started to talk about the things that inspire us, the things that make us want to be creative, just the thoughts really. And we started to talk about Japanese culture and my admiration of Japanese culture, and we looked into the Japanese legend of the Thread of Fate. And I looked more into it, read the story, and it's basically a story between two destined lovers who are meant to be together, whether it's platonic or romantic. They're tied with this invisible red string. The string can get tangled, knotted, but it never breaks.
Yeah.
So from that story, I was inspired to create the collection and say my own story through it, which is when I went into taking the literal elements of the story, such as the tangles and the knots, and incorporated that through drapery into my collection. So also I was very inspired by artists such as Francis Bacon, John Stezeker. I looked into their artworks more. With John Stezeker, really looking into the techniques that they use, such as cutting and slashing, such as the use of the reference of tailoring in his artwork. So I looked more into tailoring, going to Savile Row, really taking like all of those details in and incorporating it into my own style and my own textile manipulations. But yeah, I would say I was inspired by different artists. I was inspired by nature. I was inspired by different cultures, and that created my graduate collection.
And it really is beautiful because it's lovely to hear that because it really translates into the
so
garments,
much.
and they're beautiful pieces.
Thank you.
So can you tell me a little bit more about your brand name, Through Threads, and where that sort of came from?
Sure. So I started up my Instagram page during lockdown, actually. And I decided I wanted to dedicate a page where I reflected my journey and my thoughts and expressions. And to me, expression can be different for everyone, whether it's through music, through art, through paper and ink, through dance, through reading, through life, through nature, through threads. For me, it was through threads.
Yeah.
And that's why I called my Instagram Through Threads, because it's an expression and reflection of my thoughts through threads. And for me, each garment really tells a story, and that's kind of my signature, to leave the loose threads in my garments as well. Having that rawness, imperfection, but also perfect in its beautiful own way. Yeah, that's where I kind of got my inspiration.
I like it. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Do you have a favourite piece from your graduate collection? I suppose they're like children, you can't have a favourite.
Literally, like I love them all so much, but I would say one of the garments that I really am so proud of would be the blue felted peacoat.
Yes.
And why I say that is because I spent a lot of time on it. There was a lot of trial and error, trying to get the perfect color combination, trying to get the perfect technique and approach to it, the sizing as well. It took a lot of time, you know, doing all of that and trialing and error. But then it worked out, and it took a lot of time and patience. And I honestly, I'm super proud of it. Super proud that I was able to create a textile from scratch and the garment from scratch. So it was really nice to see where it all started out from zero and into this beautiful expression. You know, it's my expression.
Yeah, it's really, really lovely.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. And then finally, what's next for you and for the brand? Do you have plans?
So right now I'm focusing on my Instagram page, really building my network, you know, building awareness, and slowly, eventually start to build my brand and have my brand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing. Oh, well, congratulations.
Thank you so
I'm looking forward to seeing more from you.
Thank you.